Hey, future people. Thanks for today. And today program again is one of those programs that will have to deal with a lot of things, Traveling from Africa is a very big thing. Many of we Africa we travel without knowing much information of the country we are traveling to. Sometimes we have misinformation about the country. We go there expecting that money fall from the tree. But when we get there, we felt disappointed that what we expected is not what they told us is not what is happening there. We find out that a lot of things that happens here is like a joke. Some of the time, even the agent will tell you that when you go there, you find a job, it's so easy, this and that. They never tell you that you have to pass through a lot of difficulty before you can get those things. They never told you that you have to work your way out. They never told you about the right visa to apply in order to get to the country. So a lot of things that goes against we Africa when we travel. Even when you're going for education, it's good for you to know about the country, to understand how basic things. A lot of people are suffering in Asia today. A lot of why I can't say because I'm in Australia, everything is okay. I don't want to, think about that. But a lot of young youths, a lot of able men are in prison in places like Asia, even in Europe, because they are misguided. Some of these guys are very smart guys. Some of them end up doing the wrong thing. So today I will have, panel with me that we discuss this thing. I will have also special guests, somebody who we actually respect so much, somebody who have, she have come in contact with a lot of diplomats. She have worked with a lot of people that that are much concerned with things that are happening to Africa. So she will give you guys, details. She's such a lovely lady that she will tell you guys what's actually happening to we Africans, how you can maneuver, what is the problem. She would give you details. It's good for me to bring her today, and you guys will hear from her. I hope if you're coming in, please help us share too. You guys will enjoy. She's not in Australia. She's, from one of the Asian countries, but she'll be here tonight. She will talk with us and she will enjoy with us. Okay, Lisa, 1 minute before we continue this live, guys, I would like to welcome a very special lady, somebody who I love so much. She has been doing amazing work. So I was so opportune to get her here today. I hope she will help us also educate us on things that are happening around Asia. I so much love her. She's such a brilliant lady, very confident, and somebody who outspoken Christian lady. She always said the truth wherever she is. That's why I love her. Welcome, Esther, with us, guys. Esther, you're highly welcome.
Hi, Bona.
We have.
Hi, Cynthia.
Yeah, we have Cynthia here. We have Lisa, and you have myself here today. It's kind of honor to have you. It's an honor to have you. I was like, oh my God, will you be able to come? So it's so amazing. Yeah. So on top there is Cynthia,
Yeah.
and Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the last time when you featured on some of those things about Indonesia, I was so impressed about you. I said, that's the lady I so much admire. You talked about Nigerians, like the topic we have today. We are talking about Nigerians traveling overseas. Many of us are victims. I'll probably be one because if I tell somebody a story about myself, when I wanted to travel, I got a guy that wanted to sell a South African passport to me. I don't know. He just collected one money. I told him, why will you give me this kind of a thing? So a lot of us are victims that when you want to travel out. So we ask ourselves, how can we, be aware of where we travel? What preparation do we have to do before you step out of the country? And now, like recently, Indonesia is like in the map. What is happening in Indonesia? A lot of boys being into trouble. They tell a lot of stories about, that place. But to your experience, and what do you think about this? Let's go for it.
I believe life is there's a need for constant improvement in life. You need to improve yourself. You need to improve your skills. You need to learn from your mistake, and you need to take continuous actions on your idea. For instance, I give you an instance. When was your last graduation in Nigeria? If I want to look back, some people will say I'm a graduate, right? I graduated in the University of Benin. That was in 2005. In 2005, this is 2020, right? So you graduated in 2005. The books you use, they're all outdated. The world is changing, right? So that's what we need to do first. You are a graduate. Maybe you worked in small businesses and all, and you've done something in Nigeria, and now you're preparing yourself that, okay, I want to travel to Indonesia. We live in a worldwide, with the WW world we are now. Information is at your tips, at your fingertips. You need to make basic research, even if you're not enlightened, you're not educated. You need to make basic research. You understand? Ask people. Know, like, okay, I want to go to Asia. As we all know, Asia, every person in Nigeria has one awareness about Asia, that they are into mass production, meaning cost of labor is cheap, right? And they too, they're also struggling with their educational system, which is not also balanced 100%, right? So before you are trying to say you want to venture this way, if you're smart enough to say, okay, I'm coming to Asia, and I want to start up a business. It's just like the Chinese, a lot of them migrate to Indonesia and they migrate to Malaysia and they start up, right? So it is still possible, but you cannot go into a market that you don't fit in. That's where they get it wrong. When people come outside and say there are no jobs, that's one thing I get confused about. Like, you need to be qualified for the job market before you can say there are no jobs in the job market, right? Because if you are in Indonesia, for instance, the trending jobs currently are marketing, online, the tech world is growing faster. And then you are Nigerian, you appeared here in Indonesia with a 2005 degree from a school that is not recognized in the world. You have no skills. You've not learned anything for the past 10 years. And then you're complaining there is no job. How do you fit in? Will I bring a loser into a corporation that is already succeeding? Would you employ someone that would set your company 20 years backward? Nobody wants it. Everyone is looking for smart people, right? Even the investors are looking for smart entrepreneurs or startup businesses that have ideas that could, yield profit, right? So if you say there is no job, are you qualified for the job that you want to apply for? I don't believe in the idea of, like, because I met with the minister of whatever, from there I could get connections and all of that. I believe in myself. In life, first of all, you have to believe in yourself as a person, So challenges come, situation come, failures comes, and then you can overcome anything. I don't need to know anybody to be successful in life. That is one of the things one of my basic. I always tell people, I don't need to know anybody to be successful. I have brains here. If I want to learn about you, I will study about you, and I will know how to get to you and approach you, right? If I want to be an engineer, if I want to be this or anything, if I want to be famous on YouTube, I would learn the marketing skills on how to be famous. So I don't need people. A lot of Nigerians have this mindset that, after graduation, you need connection before you can excel. No, you don't need connection. You just need this up here.
That's reality, it's kind of our people. Sometimes when we are closed up in our own small community, we refuse to see what is happening outside. So, some of our people, when you are in there, people are telling you what you need to do outside. You never take correction. They still make the same repeated mistake. Before I start the program, I was telling people that I should not be ignorant of what is happening to my people, because maybe my life is good and maybe I'm okay. I forget what is happening to the less ones. A lot of our young boys are in prison in Asia. A lot of our young boys are being left on the way. Like, I remember when I was in Singapore in 2001, a young man met me where I'm drinking. I asked him, "What are you doing?" He kept quiet. I keep asking him. I said, "Why do you carry your bag?" He kept quiet. I keep talking. Then he told me, "Brother, that he's waiting for a train that is going to Japan." So he's waiting for a train that is going to Japan from Singapore. So I couldn't imagine. A very able, mature guy, educated guy, telling me this, I was so shocked. So that tells you how our people are victims of traveling. They are not well informed. So this is why we have to, we call you today, you have seen a lot in that. We are talking about Nigerians traveling abroad, awareness, what they need to know when they're going before they travel abroad, before you venture out from your country.
Okay. It's good.
When you get to your
let me start from the preambles. You see, we have a minister of transport and aviation he's telling us not to ask him about $500 million that is just embezzled by the name of.
I hope we will not be offended. That's Amechi. We will not be offended.
Yeah, $500 million.
I don't know him. I know him as your whatever, but I'm not friends with him.
He's telling us that we shouldn't ask him about the money, otherwise Chinese we stop giving money to Nigeria. To be precisely, I don't think if we organize our country very well, I'm not sure if the Chinese is richer than Nigeria. They might be more than in population, but economic-wise, I think we have all the mineral resources to subdue China, if not because of our greediness. How could Amechi disappear with $500 million and telling us that we shouldn't ask for that money? That is the first one. The second one is, I'm very, very passionate about women. And I like them to be very, very taken care of.
Yeah.
And there's this 52-year-old man who kidnapped a boy, or in the name of Ida Kebi, whatever they call it. It's a Christian. It's a pastor.
Oh, God.
A pastor kidnapped to donate money to the less privileged. Wow. So his name is Ade Tukumbo. Ade Nukbo. He's a Yoruba man. He's a 52-year-old man, and in connive with Chigozie Williams and Linus Ugoriji, Emmanuel Chris. They are all below 30 years of age.
Oh,
so they come up with the idea to kidnap, to donate money to the less privileged. This Ida Kebi. That is a very, very low. Last week we discussed about pastor how they fake themselves with the fake anointing oil. In Canada, the Redeemed Church is splitting apart. So we're just waiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like this now. We're just waiting. I think one already 2 points, so the other one. So they are fighting. I think they are sharing. They're going to share their property over there. So there's war in
we're in trouble
in Canada. Now, when it comes to traveling is a part of education, and the majority has been a victim of it, most especially the South part of Nigeria. I was in Singapore, 1997. I just arrived at Bencoli. A guy ran towards me and said, "Bro, are you from Benin?" I said, "Yes." What is the meaning of if I'm from Benin or from where? What does that have to do with me coming here? He said, "The reason is God has just brought me here." I said, "Why?" He said, "There's a Benin guy here. He wants to go to Thailand." I said, "Why can't he drop in Thailand? Because the flight bringing you to Singapore should have dropped you in Thailand instead of crossing Thailand and drop in Singapore." So after I arrived in the hotel, they went to go and bring the boy because he was sleeping in the Bencoli Park. The boy came and I interviewed him. I just happened to know the brothers. So I was able to help him get him a visa to go to Malaysia. So he ended up in Thailand. I don't know anything back up to this very moment. I don't know where he is anymore. So there are a lot of people that have lost their lives when it comes to traveling. I've come across people, the group of us that were in Malawi, I'm the only one who never planned to come to Australia that is in Australia. You understand what I'm trying to say here? The remaining guys that have been gone back to Nigeria, only one succeeded, he arrived is in Germany. The remaining ones are still here. Some have passed away. one died in America, and the rest gone back home. So when it come to traveling, a lot of people are misinformed. Somebody called me from Germany and said, please, how much is a train ticket from Malaysia to Australia? I'm just telling you it's $55. Go to the train station, buy the ticket. And there's a ticket from Kuala Lumpur that will bring him to Australia.
Australia.
It's only 11 hours. So, he said, are you sure? I said, I'm very, very sure. Just tell him to go to the train station and buy a ticket, $55. He will bring him here. No visa.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people are misinformed. Singapore, back in the days before I left that environment, a lot more than 300 Nigerians were stranded in Singapore. I can remember when I was living in Indonesia, that is the same day Obasanjo arrived. People thought I was coming to welcome him. I was on my way to New Zealand. They said I was coming. That was back in 2001.
Mm.
So a lot of people stranded. So Obasanjo that told the Singapore government that they should start deporting Nigerians and tell them to apply a visa restriction on Nigerians.
Yeah.
So that was back 2001.
Just like this today, because to prevent this, we have to speak up. A lot of our young boys, when they go out to a foreign country, some of this country may be good. You find them engaging in something like time, doing some nasty thing that doesn't, killing the image of themselves. I told people that you may think that crime pays, but what can do damage the image of your country? One person may succeed, but kills 30 people. So how can you take one person that succeeded in crime, then why 30 is gone? So that's why we have to talk out today. We have to, after we discuss about this, we also have to tell people what you have to do before you have to step out. You have to tell your story now. Somebody wants to buy a ticket from Malaysia to Australia. They probably carry to map.
By train. They don't even by flight. By train.
Show you map.
Yeah, it has been an epidemic.
Okay, so Cynthia, what do you think about traveling out of Nigeria? What do you think?
Yeah, before anyone can, if you plan to travel out of the country, you first of all inquire about that country, know what and what is involved, and you also having a legal document. Some of us will just want to anyhow document, provided we go outside the country, which is very bad. When you get there and they caught you, it's a very bad thing. You will begin to suffer. So before you make a plan to go outside the country, make sure that you have acquired every necessary document that you need. And also you have to, even if you are not educated, try to have a skill job, a skill that will enable you, even when you get there, you can see something doing. You mustn't go to university to acquire a degree first. Make sure that you learn something. If you are a lady, go and learn how to sew, go and learn how to make hair, go and learn how to do all this beautician. If you are a guy, there is some other things which you can learn, so that when you get there, even if you didn't see a white man job, you can also help yourself, employ yourself, and do something better. But the thing is that we in Nigeria, because of the hardship and other things, we don't have patience. We just want to jump outside the country. When your friend in Dubai called you, there's a lot of job here, bring 5 million. You don't even care. You even sell your father's property just to get that 5 million and get out of the country. And then when you go there, nothing, no job, you don't even have any skill to start your life. And then you see some of them will start to engage in some of the danger things like selling drugs or even so many dangerous things. At the end, they will put themselves in trouble. So what I'm saying is that before
it is very, very hilarious to see the way people are. It's an epidemic. It's the traveling in Nigeria is like coronavirus. So if you take, for instance, back traveling epidemics is back 89, 88, 89, and that is when people started moving. And Libya and Morocco road were open to people. They never count how many people died. On
Yes,
that
how is it going anyway? Is it doing all right? Has lost countless numbers.
He has grown so much, man.
In Libya, crossing the Mediterranean Sea to Italy, millions have lost their life on that.
Yes, that's right.
And still counting. Now, one of the main reasons about people migrating is about economic hardship. Economic hardship, but the people that have crossed the sea to the other end are not updating the other people. They will just tell you, do like this, you are here. A lot of people are stranded. When they are stranded, they do all sorts of illicit things to get themselves occupied, and sometimes they get killed in the process. They go do robbery, they do all sorts of things. If you look at Malaysia, before Malaysia becomes so hostile to black people, back 1996, 97, there were a group of people who went to robbery, overdo, killed a lot of people in the name of getting the money and running out. So that's why Malaysia was free. So Libya, and when you take Libya, for example, a lot of people have died on that route. And if you go to Calabar, a lot of people died from there going to Gabon, crossing.
From Calabar?
At the time I arrived in Congo, Kinshasa, 1994. Then I knew a lot of people have died on the way. You know, I went by flight to there. Then I fly from Kinshasa to Lubumbashi. Then I went through the border to Tingula, Chilambambwe, to Kitwe, back to Lusaka before I went to Malawi. And when I arrived in Malawi, and I meet people that went through that route, they take them 3 years.
Ooh.
And that journey took me 2 weeks. Because one, they are not educated, they don't know what they're doing. Secondly, they don't have the financial means, and they just jump on the road. You know. So, and two, mostly somebody will just come and tell them with the route and the geography, something you can't read. They give to you, from here to here, from here to here, you arrive there. That's why you see a lot of people get stranded and no one. And at that time I'm talking about, there's no mobile phones. You can't communicate. You only communicate when you have someone maybe close to your area who have a landline. In most cases, you call, no one will go and answer the call, and they will not go. If you don't give them money, they will not go and deliver your message. So a lot of people were stranded at that point. People died that no one knows about. I met a Liberian in Malawi. His name is Howard. I forgot his surname now. He died there in Malawi, a Liberian guy. You know, I tried to help him, but because he's a refugee, he doesn't want to come and stay with me in the city. He wanted to stay in the refugee camp. The refugee camp was so cold, and he got pneumonia and died there.
I must Jeff, just a few days ago, I don't know whether you guys saw it. There's a kind of group of ladies on video.
And it's an old news.
Is that an old news?
It's an old news, yeah. The one with Yoruba girls in Lebanon. One of them.
Yeah.
That was the group.
Could you imagine? So could you imagine these ladies? There were a bunch of them took to Lebanon. They were begging for money to come back home. So this is something that we see. See what happened in Indonesia last time. You know, Esther, let's come back to you again. What happened to Indonesia last time? You know, a lot of our boys get, killed. A lot of them got imprisoned. And, I don't know. Is that our boys' problem or the police problem? I always tell our people, this is one thing I say to people, I say, always have a bargaining power. Bargaining power is that either you have education or you have a handwork. But again, you have to know how to extend your visa, because without extending your visa, you can't do those things. Anyway, Esther, up to you. Is that our... I just said before.
Okay, I want to say something like what he said. He talked about economic hardship. understand, economic hardship. I feel this is a problem. This is a beginning of our problem as in Nigeria. First of all, we pick up an unknown identity and wear it and start moving everywhere we go. We say we have economic hardship. Is Nigeria the poorest country in the world?
No.
Is Nigeria the poorest country in Africa?
Thank you.
Countries like Haiti, they exist. Why is it that they are not on the news every day committing crimes? So when we wear this cap of economic hardship and then we turn it into something, okay, I ask people a simple question. You say your country is bad, right? And you have the opportunity to go to another country, meaning you're going to start all over again, right? So why still do bad things? You say your leaders are bad back home, and then you go to somebody else's country to act like your leaders. So there is no difference because the mindset, this is the problem. Our mindset is stuck that our government is supposed to give us Lamborghini, give us a big house, give us a swimming pool, because from the foundation, our mind has been corrupt. I live in a country, Indonesia, whereby if you watch movies here, it's just like what is happening in North Korea and other countries, right? If you watch Nigerian entertainment industry, for instance, what they show you, it's all about wealth. The kind of wealth they display, it's extreme wealth that, you know, people don't even get to those kind of segments in life. People don't attain those kind of, there are certain people that gets there. It's not everybody. Being wealthy, it's not about having big cars or driving Range Rovers or whatever. You could be wealthy in your own way. The essence of life, we've missed the concept of why we live. Why do we exist? This is the question. Is it about government making money? You want to be rich? You want to be, you know, we all need basic necessity. If our government has failed us, what are we doing to change it? That's the question. There are so many Nigerians outside Nigeria that has made it big time legally, right? And there are so many Nigerians that have made it illegally. They still go back home. There are only three things they want. They want a house, they want a car, and they want to get married. And they still want money to just maintain this life until they die. Not that they want this money. A lot of them make good money, they go back home, they don't invest. But they still complain the leaders are bad. A country is not built by only the government. When we say government, it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, right? So the people, we are also part of it. We need to put our own efforts. Many of the buildings in Melbourne and all, they are not owned by the government, right? I have lots of developers and all. If you go online to SME, blah, 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 you see people building properties, building malls. The malls are not owned by the government. The whole of New York, Manhattan City is not owned by the government.
That's
People
right.
invest. When we see Nigerians, they don't have the entrepreneur spirit. We don't know how to invest. We don't know how to invest in lives.
That's what we get to. We'll come to that, Esther. You later get us to that later.
It's not our economy. We should stop using our economy as a
So I'm a world-class traveler. When it comes to education, I know. When it comes to traveling, it's a part of my DNA. I've stepped my foot on the 6th continent of the earth. So when people talk about traveling or talk about the necessity of lives, I laugh and I smile because no one today can challenge me. How is the world look like? Some people used to call me Minister of Aviation because I can travel anywhere I want.
I met you will get you. Make you not try. I met you. I met you go call you down. That man don't play.
I know 500 million, sir.
When we talk about the necessity of life, when we talk let me deduce with expand economic hardship in a nutshell. See, when people begin to travel, when people start living a society in exodus, it's a reflection to tell you the government of the day is one, it's not performing. Secondly, people are living under 1 square meal. Third, they are insecure. It's the reason why people live in mass exodus. Not necessarily because they don't want to stay in the country. Now, Nigeria is almost 200 million people. I'm very, very sure the manufacturing industry in Nigeria is less than 100 that can accommodate people. The best business in Nigeria is banking.
50, let's pure water.
Banking. Not everybody can be an accountant. A society where you have a mechanic as an accountant working in the bank. Those that have been to the university to go and study an account can't get a job. You find an engineer as a storekeeper. So if you look at that carefully, you understand that when people talk about economic hardship, I live in Indonesia for 4 years or 5, 6 years. I know what I'm talking about. Indonesia, at the age of 2, they started smoking cigarettes. I know the environment very, very well. And Nigerians, let me put this in a nutshell. Let me say this. When I left Nigeria and arrived in Malawi, I tell to myself, the day God was already tired when this nation was created, because Nigeria was in paradise.
Nigeria
was in paradise. That is when I left. That's when I left Nigeria. Back then, see, at that time, Lagos weather was 21 degrees. Today is approximately 28, 30 degrees. Edo State was 25, and it's 43 in December. We are not improving, but we are deteriorating.
Yes. No, I accept
left Nigeria with $500, and that $500 was 6,000 naira, and my first air ticket was 3,000 naira. That's when I left Nigeria. Today, to fly out of Nigeria, there's no plane that would take
where is our middle class that are created by the system in Africa? It doesn't exist. Politicians all around the world themselves. You go into politics to exploit your people. But where are the creative people that are going to produce jobs? Pay tax to the government so your country can go forward.
Yes,
no, we're sitting busy complaining. In Nigeria, there's no business. The gentleman over there said banking. In Nigeria, there are no bankers. There are money launderers and foreign exchange people that call themselves banks. A bank's main purpose is to lend out money for investment, for business. You cannot go to the bank in Nigeria and get to go.
Nah.
All the big men go to the bank, get loan, and they never pay back. That's why you have banks. So until our people decide that it is our country, not the politicians, and then we stand, we must be counted. If you're not ready to fight for the country, then be looking for visa to go to Indonesia, wherever in the world, and become a second-class citizen. But the day you want to decide that my country is Africa, then you stand, you have to die for it. There is no point living for nothing if you cannot die for something. I sit down and I look. Unfortunately, I was outside the country. I lived most of my life outside the country. But I went to secondary school in Nigeria. I started university in Nigeria. And then I told my mother, I can't stay here. There's nothing wrong with it. This was in the early 80s. And my mother, as a patented Nigerian, had gone abroad, lived back to the country. They said, Layo, this is your country. I said, sorry, this is your country. Going back to where I came from, because at that age, I already saw the cracks in society. When Nigerians don't respect anything other than money, 35 years later, everything has come out. Until we go and build, as PFK said, think not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. I know Nigeria. There's no such person as Nigeria. There's a certain thing called waiting I want job out of Nigeria. That's why the Chinese come, the Indian come, everybody comes to exploit, because they see that we ourselves are there to exploit. Not to
okay, thank you, brother.
All get together and say, let us build something. Rather than, as my sister said, wanting to drive Bentley and Ferrari. She said it. Not everybody in the Western world is a billionaire. Not everybody in the Western world is a millionaire. Some people are just comfortable and are happy to be comfortable. But in Nigeria, everybody wants to hammer. And then they will say, it's not my portion to be poor. Is it your portion to be rich? What have you done?
But
nothing. But it feels, because God created you should have a Bentley. That's why Nigerians steal. And they steal blind. It's only in Africa you see a man will steal $1 billion, dig a hole and hide it. don't suffer. But when you now take that money either to abroad or to take it home and bury it, that's why we're suffering in the whole of it. And until our orientation changes, and we now see ourselves.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. You see, like I said, I always say to people that.
Okay. Do you want to say anything to 1 minute? Do you want to say anything to Esther quickly so that we get another people in?
God bless you, Esther. Wherever you are, keep on doing what you're doing. Because the more people that listen to you, it will click in some people's head, and they might make a change.
Thank you.
Because we are the change they expect.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May God bless you for your contribution.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Australia is too far from me. 22 hours can't fly there.
Oh no, it's all right.
It's all right. We are okay here. Thank you.
Okay, Mashem, keep up. Brother, don't go there. Those people are very mafian. Okay.
That beg you for money. The day you tell them, if you do not vote the way I want you to vote, don't call me. They are the ones on ground that will say, no, but that said we should vote for these people, no, or it's not sending us money. That is where we will make Nigeria. We are the ones that are sending money that's keeping the economy. $40 billion every year to send into Nigeria. Without that money, Nigeria is bankrupt.
Okay.
The day we tell them.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bro. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution. You see,
my mother's been sick.
Hi.
Esther, say bye-bye, bro.
Thank you. Bye.
I've said your thing. I will keep on listening to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. At least we win one person today.
Thank you. God bless you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Esther, I'll probably give you a chance to answer him before I contribute.
So, Esther, yeah, you raised a topic here.
He's having a point. Another thing, like you said, traveling is a way of is like the next corona in Nigeria, right? Do you know what's the next virus we have in Nigeria? One of the biggest viruses that we don't even accept it, that it's affecting each and every one of us. Social pressure. Social pressure has been, like from when you were young, nobody gave us a responsibility, but unconsciously, because of the society, you just look out at your neighbor, your gate man in your house, looking at you, man, this is my guy, I want to be like him. You understand that kind of comments? Yeah. You want to be like your boss, like you have a wealth of experience, you have huge educational background. Because of his mindset, he wants to social pressure. He wants to level up at all means. He could easily, when there's any plans to kidnap you, he could easily sell you off because he enjoys the lifestyle you're living. Not because he could say, okay, let me work for this guy and be loyal to him and say, can I learn from you? If you look at the culture of the Chinese, which you have experienced, Nigeria is a country whereby we don't have generational businesses. It is difficult to transfer wealth from one generation to generation. Every one of us will have a story here. I believe all of us here have that same story. My father was this, my uncle was that, my grandfather had this. We all have this kind of stories in our family, whereby our uncles, our brothers, or our father was rich. We use it as, my dad was the former this. We live on past glory because when our parents die, we don't know, they don't train us how to manage. We don't have the spirit of, mastering, mastering something to transfer, to manage wealth. We don't have entrepreneurial spirit. We don't know how to, when I studied business and management, I checked Nigeria, comparing Nigeria with other countries. I don't know if you've heard about Hofstede 5 dimensions. You have the short-term and long-term orientation. If you go to that orientation chart, there's something very interesting about Nigeria. It's a world research. If you type Nigeria is short-term, 13% only. We only think now. You understand what we're
now, no tomorrow.
Let me just hammer, and they just want this social pressure. I I will ask a young girl and a young guy, what do you want? They tell you that I just want a car, a house, and I get married and settle down. What is settle down? Is that all you were created for? I want to settle down. There is no limit. We keep living until the day we take our last breath. If people like Warren Buffett or so, he's still working at the age of 70 something, and you say you want to settle down. The women, we go into wrong marriages because of this same social pressure to cause. And when they say one of the foundation of business, you choose your partner. It's very important. When you go into the wrong partner, wrong mindset, they communicate. You see a guy working in Shell. I always use this as an example. A guy working in Shell has a salary of 500,000 naira, for instance. You know, that is a huge salary in Nigeria, right? It is huge. He's doing well. He has a car. He's living in a rented apartment of 2-bedroom flats. Because he has this, he feels he has got into his self-actualization. He wants to settle down. That's the concept. There's a cultural pressure, right? He wants to settle down. The salary has not increased. And now you settle down with 500,000 naira only. You get married. Now you have a responsibility of a wife. Within 1 year, the wife has a child. And then they go into this exorbitant wedding, which I don't know who is telling them to do that for society pressure.
Yes.
So from that 500,000, the guy will save like 2 million for just wedding.
Yes,
for maybe half of the year. And then after the wedding, he buys his wife a car. The salary has not increased. Within 1 year, his salary has not increased. Now, within 1 year, she wants to have a child. He now has 2 responsibilities attached to his 500,000 naira salary. This is not witchcraft. This is just normal setback. You cause your own setback. 500K, 2 people to manage. Before the next 3 years, the wife has like 3 kids. And they tell you they want to, how do they put it in Nigeria? They say, I want to have all my kids and settle down. The guy's salary has not increased in the past 3 years, 20%. Maybe it increased to 600K plus. But his responsibility has tripled, right?
Guys, Esther, 1 minute. Guys, what Esther just telling us here is like business IQ. So for you not to think that you are getting picking and your salary will increase, so more can have been careful. Always is very good. Keep on, Esther. Sorry, keep on.
Yeah, so in between 3 years, this particular person with a job, a stable life, has accumulated responsibility because of social pressure. Now they run to pastors and churches and start praying because things are not working the way it's supposed to be. The wife doesn't work, the family settles, they don't have any other source of income, and they settle for less. This is where the desperation comes. A lot of them, when they lose that job, they'll tell you Nigeria has failed them. You need to, there's no pressure. You know, there's no pressure. I tell people the race is always there. The track cannot move. Everyone can always go and run. You will still finish the 400 lap. The track will never move. It will never stretch. It will never expand. But the competitiveness we have in Africa is just, I want to be better. I want to be better than my brother. Even within family, you see us compete within ourselves. You know, you see siblings. I tell people it's only in Nigeria where you see a family of 5. 5 of them attend 5 different churches. Already, even with their religion, they are divided, not to talk about the mentality. You understand? Everyone has his own thing. They believe in their own thing. They are superstitious. Everybody's, you know, feeling like, I just want to do better. And when they fail, they put it on their brother. If you're the richest person in your family, you're in trouble. You understand? Because of the pressure. So we don't just face society pressure. We face everything in Nigeria. The battle is everywhere. You understand? So, but I tell people it's very easy to step out from the mindset. Like you, Bona, you know me. I don't sit and I don't, hey, Bona, what's happening? Whatever. It's not a competition. Start anytime you want to start. Failure, as they taught us in business, is an opportunity. If you've gone to Indonesia, you've gone to Europe, you failed, you got there. Please master one thing, even if it's how to make pure water, the machine. But if I tell Nigerians that come and make pure, do you know in Nigeria, nobody has franchised pure water till today. It's
nobody. Yes, that's true.
Business, but we don't have a household name of pure water. We don't have a household name of Mama. But if you go to UK and all these countries, you see small petty businesses, you know, just like a kiosk. They are being franchised and turned into something. But we don't. You can go to Nigeria, go back to where you grew up. You see the same person having the same business 22 years later in the same shop. He doesn't want to.
That's right.
If they want, so if they have money, they are very rich. They go to Lekki and rent a shop for 10 million naira. That is not an entrepreneur spirit. You rent a shop for 10 million naira and then you make profit of 500K. How does it work? And then they struggle to pay to keep social status and big girl, big boy thing, right? A car is there are two types of investment. A house can be a liability, or a house can be an investment. You cannot build a house in your village for 100 million naira and call it an investment, because you only go there once in a year. This is where a lot of us shut down our money and they say, nowhere like home. Who told you nowhere like home? My house where they will bury me. Some people have properties. The people we're complaining for, some of us outside Nigeria, they have properties in Nigeria worth millions of dollars. But yet they live in cube apartments in Indonesia. They are running from immigration every day. Their Range Rover is parking, covered in their garage. But immigration, when they see, they run.
They run. Yes, that's okay. Yeah, that's
they have
true.
hotels in Owerri everywhere. You understand? Big boys in Nigeria, when they go back December, they've kept they kept fixed, not asset. It's not an asset. Fixed stupidity that they don't even use. If they have invested this money into something, it would have been better. Passive income. They don't have passive income. And yet you complain. It's not like some people are not seeing the money, but they put it in the wrong things. If you go to, even in my village, there are duplex and all of those buildings. You see them 200 million value, some of them 300 million value, but there's no hospital in that village. There's no school in that village.
There's not even fire brigade. If there's any fire, the house will just burn.
You don't know that man will get that yellow house. He don't come back now. That's all they want to hear. You understand? That title, he don't show, And you drive past a whole community. That 300 million can transform lives. You don't need to dash the community the money. You just have to invest in the community. Set up schools for maybe subsidized prices so more people can come. Build marketplaces. Even market, you can build and rent it to your village people. Build mall in your village. Don't your people want to see cinema? With the 300 million. But people don't do that. They would say there's nowhere like home. No. Yeah.
Wow.
Why is that?
Thank you very much. Let me take it. Let me take it from there. You see, like I said, again, I'm gonna say it again. And the life we live is what we make out of it. And when it comes to marriage, it's not a do or die affair. And it's because it's a picture that is not ever going to be printed. It's gonna remain there. See, marginaries, you see, the only joy in marriage is seeing other people being fooled into it. That's the life we are all living in. You see, now, according to the other guy, people want to live exorbitant life. People want to eat from where the pot they never cooked, and even when they cooked it, they will never even share it. Nigeria believe in Pajero. They want to use high Helios. They want to use pathfinders, so that they can splash water on the poor, because they don't want to share. Because greediness is a part of we all. It's not just those that are home or those that have made it or those that is about to make it. I believe no one has made it as far as I'm concerned. My people used to tell us when one person is rich in the family is still poor. Nigeria is an average society where everybody is still poor. Because now, when let's analyze the government and where issues are. If the government we are living under, I'm finding it difficult to bring in investors to invest in their country. See that mentality transform into their own citizens. Nigerians believe in taking money and keeping it overseas. They don't believe in investing in their own society. They believe if you come and eat with them, you are going to go rich. They are going to get poor. In that sense, you will never eat with them. Whatever they have, they will bury it on the ground. There are couple of months ago, people start pulling money from the ground. The money that was changed in 1980. Those are money embezzled in Nigeria. So the society we are living today, the government we are living under, the people we are serving, the people that are living with us, like you rightly said, is a government of the people, by the people and for the people. But Nigeria, if you watch my program, I tell them the way it is. And my program last night was a blast. It's over 4,000 views. And when I try to explain to people when it comes to the way and manner you want to live your life, people will say, oh, because you've made it, that's why you are telling us. Because you are living overseas, you don't want us to come. That's why you're telling us overseas is no good. That's why you're telling us to go and learn. When I left Nigeria, I had to go and learn how to print. When I discovered that I cannot do the bouquet, this what's it called? You know what I mean by working as a laborer. All my years I've been thinking about going back to school. So I went to go and learn how to print, industrial printing.
Wow.
So let alone if I've learned that back home, I will not learn it again. I will become an expert of it. A lot of people say a lot of shit about me, but at the end of the day, I learned how to print, then I learned how to glue. And today, I'm in the social welfare industry. I resigned and went back to school. So education comes to all these things we are talking about. Nigerians need to be educated. Before you leave home, you need to have a sense of where you're going, what you are going to do there, and why you are leaving. The first thing you have to tell yourself, where am I living? You see people sell their house. You want to go overseas. You sell a house, it will take you maybe another 30 years to get a house you just sold. If I thought you're able to get it, at the end, it goes frustrated, you go into crime. Some of them die in the process. Before I left Indonesia, a lot of people died. A lot of people. You know, there was this boy called Timmy when someone called me, a group of us, and said, I tell you not to go to some place. If you go there, you're going to get arrested. He didn't believe us. Out of desperation, people do whatever they want to do. There's a friend of mine, Bobby, and his friend, they went to somewhere. And I said to Bobby, what are you doing? Your friend was shot the other day. Why can't you relax? He goes, when two people go to war, one died, the other one must continue. That is the answer I get. I said, all right. Wow. At the end of the day, he died too. So it's difficult for you to lecture people about overseas and tell the one at home not to come. One of my cousins said to me, "Oh, brother, you fucked up big time. My language." He said it would take him 6 months to bring 2 trailer heads to Nigeria.
So maybe take 1 month.
He's been living overseas almost 20 years. He hasn't been able to buy a ticket to go to Nigeria.
See?
And the trailer head, he cannot buy the trailer head, and he cannot even buy his own personal ticket.
You see? That's what Esther was saying here.
So just let me come. You see, the Western world, like I said to people, Africa is still stuck up in colonization. We all have that mentality. It's because of the white people that came to colonize us. That's why we're where we are. No. We do ourselves. I still ask myself, who do all this? I tell you last time, nearly all the people
who do this about Nigeria?
Nearly all the people in the Bible started from they are Africans. Peter, Solomon, David, they were all Africans. That's to tell you God is with us.
Yes, amen.
You know, at the end, we are still where we are. We blame the people we are blaming, they are in space race. America just sent a robot the other day. They want to go and collect sand and bring it to Earth. In Mars. Africa is still stuck up in colonization. When they were industrializing their country, Africa are busy paying tax and offering to pastors. That's where it is, bro. I'm not joking.
No.
You're right.
Africa believe in putting Bango. Martin of fire. Out of the apostles.
Put sticker for your car.
Once you put that bongo in your hand, it's a bondage.
Let them come and go see your pastor face one. Your pastor they carry gun, they walk around.
The other one will tell me I'm a winner. He went to go and tie that bongo. And if you tell him, if you Catholic church, they talk about God over there, he will tell you no. They don't know God. Because he believed in that bango. That bango he put his hand came from Ogun State. from one Babalawo. They're using it to charm them so that they said them, I can a church, maybe you have 1,000 congregations. He said that thing for 5 naira. He already made his money. And this thing is something they just import for China for less than 10 cents. And these people are rich people. Rich, they said. They go at the end, they go and build a very expensive university. They build secondary school, they build childcare, they build a primary school, they build a secondary school, they build university. Every members in that church find it difficult to attend their school. And every day, these people keep on sowing the same seed. And they go and buy olive oil here from a Balogu market to go and put in their foreheads and say you are anointed. That's why I asked you, who anointed you people before you want to go and anoint me with your. I don't want anybody to touch my head. If you want to pray for me from distance, God will hear you in heaven. They say, no, why are you always like this? I know, I love God. But the perspective or the way Africans handle it, they robbing God of his freedom. They said one of the angels was kicked up from probably the angel landed in Africa. That angel God kicked out of heaven, landed in Africa. When the white people were sowing seed to industrialize, create factories, do everything, Africa are busy sowing seed to pastors to buy private jets. I just said it from the beginning. The pastor went to go and rock. The pastor Ade Tokumbo, a maid delivery client, he kidnapped it. He want to get a ransom to donate the money for charity. And you call yourself a servant of God. You kidnap somebody to collect a ransom to go and give to charity. And then people will just say, come and pray, Lord, go single, praise thy. You tell me, so majority of the churches, they're assuming human body out of it.
Yeah,
Go to Ogun State. The same Ogun State. These people rape, pastors rape on a daily basis. In Cross River, the SSG to the governor just not and died for raping a 15-year-old girl. That was last week.
Really?
Yes. Cross River State. The SSG. He raped a 15-year-old. Sometimes I don't want to read Nigerian news. Because the moment I open it, first thing I see is rape. Maybe because I have a passion of helping women. Then I see all these things coming to me. You know, somebody posted that 15 girls or maybe 30 girls in one room in my platform. They said, please, can you send this message to so many people and inform Buhari? And I said to them, did Buhari tell you to go and do prostitution? And then one of my person replied me, why do I have to judge them? I said, yes. The thing people lack on earth that people don't understand. In earth, we are meant to judge here. God will cram it in heaven. Whether you not decide whether you go to hell or go to heaven. If there was no judges on earth, there will not be court. There will not be elders. There will not be advisors. We are meant to judge people. And people should learn that. You know. So people need to understand. They're telling me on my platform, because I do what I do, to send that message to Buhari as if I'm a cousin or I sleep in Aso Rock. You go to Lebanon and clap yourself in one room and start praising, calling God.
Is it Jeff? You know,
praying to God out of your own free will. You went to Lebanon to go and do prostitution. And then you coming back.
So some of these girls, that's what we are saying here. Some of them, they did not tell them they are doing prostitution. They told them they will do have girls.
They don't know.
Mali. Lebanon is good. Go to Mali and go and see what is happening to Nigerians. You shed tears.
But some of these people, they told them that they are going there to do house girls. They don't tell them. That's what we're here.
Brother,
that's what they tell you. That's the lie
they were going to do prostitution. Nobody will tell you. They don't knew where they were living. Their mother and their father persuaded them to go on that road. They know.
Some of them don't know. Only 10% don't know. Only 10% don't know. I would say, because
10%, 1%, maybe 1%. I'm not going to 10%.
Yeah, because in Nigeria they want to travel.
They know where they were going. They know what we are doing.
I went to Malaysia from Indonesia. I went to Malaysia to get my visa for my resident permit. You know, like I'm changing from one status to the other. When I got to Malaysia, I got to Nigerian embassy in Malaysia, right? So I wanted to. I got to Indonesian embassy in Malaysia. So I went to make my hair. I was looking for where to make my hair because I heard Malaysia, holds lots of Nigerians there. It's easy to get everything, right? So I got to the saloon and I met a girl. I don't know her. She said her name was Peace. So we started talking. She was braiding my hair that day. And then she told me something, I was touched, like her boss took her passport, that story, I was like, in this era, in 2017, somebody will take your passport. 2016, somebody will take your passport. I said, for what? She said the boss brought her here for prostitution, the story, the whole story.
Yeah.
Like, so instantly I contacted Nigerian embassy in Jakarta. The attaché then, I contacted him. I said, sir, do you have any contact in Nigerian embassy in Malaysia? I just met a Nigerian who told me something shocking, that someone brought her here for prostitution, blah, blah, blah. They took her passport. You need to report this case, and the guy was like, this is the consular's phone number. Take her to Nigerian embassy and make a formal report. I was like, okay. And I sent the consular a message and said, sir, I would love to come to your office. Mr. This gave me your number. He was like, okay, both of you should come. Do you know, the next morning I took my time, I got to the embassy with this lady, and then we sat there. Immediately we got in, he was like, sit down. Do you know the only reason I allowed you to enter my office now? I said, why? He said, because they sent me a message from Indonesia that Esther will come. If not, I wouldn't even have time to even see both of you. Now let's start the story. You said, what happened? The lady was like, my boss took my passport. She's asking for $10,000, blah, blah, blah. I have paid her like 5,000. The guy was like, you paid like 5,000. How did you get the 5,000? Well, you said you don't want to do prostitution, right? He said, it's one white man that gave me the money for free. Just like that. You're so pretty that the white man will just give you the money. He was like, Esther, we have these cases a lot here. She wants to run away from whoever brought her here. She doesn't want to pay for what she has accepted to come do here in Indonesia, in Malaysia. It's a shortcut. I was so embarrassed, when the guy started talking to her. He was like, do you want to go back to Nigeria? Let's arrange for a TC for you to leave. Instantly, she swapped and said, I don't want to go home. Really, you don't want to go home? And you're not doing nothing here, right? But this is the problem. They just use these stories. The girls, even back home in Nigeria, let's be real. Let's be real to ourselves. What is happening to our female sector in Nigeria? You understand? A lot of girls are not into prostitution, right? They stay at home and then they sleep with several men. And what is that called? It's still defined in another way. You understand? So it's something like people see it as runs. People want to date senators. People want to date politicians and, big boys and all, right? If you meet that kind of girl and tell her to come with you, she should come and braid hair. Will she follow you abroad to come and braid hair when a senator is giving her 500,000? She's looking for a better way to make more money from the whites. So they should stop using that story I heard when I was a child. Because I heard this story when I was not even matured, that will take you to Europe to do this. It's something that we heard growing up. And why is it that in 2020 we're still having this discussion? It's no longer interesting.
If you are on your way home and you pass through Dubai, Abu Dhabi, you see all these little kids jumping on the flight. I interviewed a girl on my way to Nigeria the other day, and I said, what are you doing in this country? He said he's a businesswoman. A businesswoman. How long have you been here? He said she's been here for 7 months. Said, what business are you doing? And he said he's doing buying and selling. You buy here and sell in Nigeria? I said yes. And they say you'll be living here for 7 months. What takes you so long that your container cannot go? That you have to stay here? Say no, this is my.
You want one person runs?
Yeah, because I was shocked. A lot of them came into the flight that I look at them and I said, this kid's supposed to be in school. I was shocked. And I said, why do you have to take yourself the stress? And you have one bag, you keep on making up severally. And that's what prompted me to answer questions. He said, Oga, no, but this time you did. Why did you ask me that kind of question again? I said, no, sorry. I'm coming from a different country. I never see young Nigerians exodus like this coming on the flight before, and I'm curious. That's what I want to find out.
Oh man!
You said I asked her too many questions, and I said, "What you came here to do? If I were you, that's 7 months enough for you to go home and start looking for something else to do."
Okay, guys.
At the end of the day, you are hurting yourself. I told you about that was 2 weeks ago. The new funded courtesan in Nigeria, the Marine girls. Have you not heard about them? They are 13 years. They are 13 years of age. 13 years. And
Wow.
these 13 years to be initiated, you have to sleep with 10 men.
Oh man! For what?
13
Now we
years.
have-
13. I'm not lying. It's on the news.
Wow.
13 years. They are. And to be initiated, you have to sleep with 13. And they were caught in uncompleted units. One of the girls, when he get home, he started behaving very matured, and the mother become worried. Who teach you all this? That what she was doing, the mother was now begin to wonder, why are these my daughters now behaving more than her age? You know, start requesting for mobile phones, start requesting for so many things that the mother cannot afford. And the mother begin to question her, and he later confessed that this is what she's a Marine girl. She now picture herself as Mommy Water.
Yeah, it's, people don't even like it anymore. It's all over the new internet.
13, I was back.
Money.
I nearly cried. 13 years old, they have to sleep with 10 men to be initiated, and they feel comfortable with it. The people overseas are the one recruiting them. They want to take them all away. At the end, they will tell you you are going to go and do babysitting. They will tell you are going to go and do hairdressing. They will tell you all this camouflage. That is the story they will tell the customs or immigration when they are leaving the airport. But
Anyway, guys, we are running out of time. We only have like 6 minutes or 5 minutes to go, guys. So, guys, Esther, thank you. I'm thanking you so much for being here. I also always want to bring you in. One day we'll talk about business because, you know, people.
Yeah, that's my field. Please, business only.
No, normal idea, you know. I told people that, you know, that Nigeria will develop more if we start doing what they call franchising things, you know. If you know that, like, people like you guys that send something back home too, you know that you don't have the money and you are honest, you know. You ask those agents, they give you something, you have to run around and sell it, be honest with yourself. And you make more money. In the Western world here, like you see McDonald's, you see KFC. The owner is somewhere there. They never keep going direction to direction because of franchising. You know, like you said something, you say we don't pass our business to the next generation because once the man died, the person that knows the idea died, the business is dead. No franchising. If you're under somebody, all your mindset is to open your shop and bring that person back. It's totally wrong. You only because that person is carrying the idea, why can't you franchise the name? Getting the goods from the person, selling it, and making the money together. You know, promoting that person. Like today in Asia, like we say in Asia, you know, I've been in my Asia, like Malaysia, you're saying, I've been in Malaysia. I've said a lot of things in Malaysia. You know? I've said desperate. One thing I understand here is like our people are desperate. You know, when a young boy came in, you don't have any bargaining power. You don't have the education. You could have pulled down, see if you can do 1 or 2 education and get yourself. You came back today, you wanted to go in.
But do you know the downside of what is happening currently now from an entrepreneur stand or from a business person? I feel like we're going to face challenges whereby some of us, a lot of us with ideas, potential ideas that can drive our economy forward, we're being shot because of the crimes of other people. Like you said, you do something and we have to pay the price, right? Like there are lots of what's it called? There are lots of platforms online whereby entrepreneurs or young startup with ideas, if you go online, you Google about it and see where you can sell your ideas. You go there. When I went to that page, you see investors having like over $1 million, $2 million. When you apply, immediately they hear you're a Nigerian. They are off. even if your idea is so excellent. You understand? So it's not like we don't. A lot of us people in America and all, we don't. Some of us we don't have access to loans. We don't have access to so many things for a startup business because of what is happening. A lot of Nigerians are blocking the channels based on their activities. Criminal activities are blocking channels. For instance, if I send a message, I don't know Ambassador now, for instance, what he's telling me about industrial printing and all, I have something to do with it. I send him an email as Esther. You know he's gonna bluff and like, who is this scam? You understand? Because of nobody wants to even see you for you. Nobody wants to see sincerity anymore. Now integrity is a scarce commodity in Nigeria. You understand? Even in your family, with your friends and all. You call people back home, you want to start a business. They turn you their mugu. They inflate the prices and it's so bad. Even we back here, we don't want to go back, right? We just want to invest. Call them and ask them one thing. They change the price. They want to make you mugu.
Everybody is a victim. Everyone, if you're living overseas, you're a victim of your brothers, your sisters, your uncle, your auntie, your cousins, your friends. You have to find a way to choose one that is cheaper.
No time. There's a question there on the screen. Answer it.
But my question: don't you feel that the bad state of the country caused by our leaders is the cause of the mass exodus to overseas? And they contributed to it, but sometimes, like I said, if you vote a governor that cannot do a common landscaping for you, then you voted at Adolf Hitler. That means it's going to take all your money to a fuel tank underground. The remaining you put on top of the roof. The leftover you go and put the Bank of America. That's what is going to happen to you. Because
Ambassador, do you know where I'm from? Do you know where I'm from in Nigeria? I'm from Ogbea, where Jonathan is from, the former president. Yeah, I have never had a voter's card in Nigeria before because nobody deserves my vote. Even if you're from my village or whatever it is. I lost a lot of friends, family, and all because I was a major critic of my own brother. You understand? I feel disappointed that I had a brother for president for 6 years, and then in my village, I don't have borehole. Common borehole.
Yes.
No toilets, nothing. And then you want me to come clap. And then when EFCC or whatever attacked his wife for looting money, do you know my brothers attacked me and say, and after all, everybody need a chop. I think everybody they chop. So don't get angry when other people are eating. It's turn by turn, right? That's what I replied, right? So this is what you're saying.
I'm an advocate about that. See, when it comes to the borehole issue, I go against it. And people are angry because when I always preach about good clean water, borehole doesn't give you clean water. You have to boil it and filter it, and that is the source of typhoid fever.
Mr. Jeff, at this time, why can't we just have it for? You have a lot of ways. You can put pipe down water. It's the president of Nigeria, for God's sake. He can do a lot of things for the community.
For 6 years, the land has powered our village with
I've written him. He did not reply me, and he did not reply me. Because they never hear me call billion. That's why majority of these people don't call me. I call them, I write them. Sometimes I call the governors most of the time, send him text messages. He doesn't reply. The only person I've picked my phone call is Senator Orogide, and I called her, hello, who is on the phone? And said, Ambassador Jeff. Oh, Ambassador, how are you? Because you hear the word ambassador inside. Because that is where he wants to liaise me. Right? So, yeah, that's the only way. If you don't have a title, you can't talk to these guys. They will just hear your name and they look at. They never answer. I got telephone numbers of big millionaires.
Okay, guys, we are rounding up. We time is just kind of like rushing us up, guys.
Nigeria is in a very, very bad state. Let's be frank and sincere to ourselves. Our leader does not have any technical ability to look after even their own office. You know, you begin to wonder, you vote a government for 4 years. It did not do one project. It can't fix your road. It did not fix your health system. It did not fix your education. It did not even give you a tap water to drink. People are busy digging holes. You see, when it comes to boreholes, I go against it most of the time. But what can we do? You dig a toilet here, and you dig a toilet here. You dig a borehole in the middle. And you just tap in the water, you just put in there. And here you get typhoid fever. Even the bottled water they sell in the street, they are not pure.
You see,
You
I must say that
you have a problem. And I keep saying it to people, to have a borehole, you have to have 600 meters from the house, of which we don't have it. A society where they build a house with no road, you have flashy houses everywhere, but there's no road to get to that flash house. They'll go and buy Pajero, so that if they're driving, you see a big one with Agbada 1,500, he will be doing like this inside the car until he go out to the main road. The remaining of his money, instead of it to make the road, he'll go and put it in Paraguay.
But we have a problem. We that is in the foreign country, we have a problem. There's something Esther said here I like so much. Cynthia, do you want to say something, Cynthia, about the borehole?
No, go on. No, go on.
Okay. What Esther says here, he said most of us we went and buy Pajero. Like you call big boys in Asia. You don't have, you are running around. Immigration it's not up to anything, it's feeding you. Chasing you everywhere. You park your Pajero in Owerri or wherever it is, you park your Pajero. You have your 4-story building. Why can't you use that opportunity, maybe even to school, to invest schools, invest in school. Those houses you can turn it to school. And
that is just a little bit of he go and buy a generator to give to. He go and buy a generator. Is someone talking?
No. Like now,
and then he become a chief.
Yeah, but now there's something that the youth are planning. I had the youth that saying, they said these days, they said, we don't want big houses again. We want you guys to start investing in our community. Because could you imagine, you can go to some community, you find some of powerful houses. It's only their grandma there, only their mom left there, nobody in the house, no work in the community. So they ask you that before you build those big houses, you should also do something for them. Okay? Now we need to start that investment because we can invest properly. Like in Asia, a lot of ways you can make money in Asia.
Lots of business. If you're business minded, come to Asia.
If you're business minded,
she's Indonesia. If you go to Sudema, you go to Petamburan, you go to Tanaban.
You can even customize clothes for 5 pieces only. 5 pieces you can customize.
They are
everywhere.
Those houses.
Let me tell you, if you are in Asia,
I do customer representative when I was in Indonesia. All I do when an Igbo man comes from Nigeria, I take him to the factory. I interpret for them, tell them what to do. So I have samples I put in my shop. I show them samples. They want 10 bags, they want 2 bags. I go to the factory, order it for them. In most cases, they want to go and see. I'll take it for them. If you can't take houses in the street in Indonesia, you will have a tailoring shop beside making clothes. Yeah. You will have people making shoes inside their own city room. But
all Asians are the same. All Asians are the same,
Africa, no way. If you tell them to buy you a land, they will tell you it's 1.10 million. And the house is only 200,000.
All Asians are the same. I believe that. I believe that, like if in Asia, when I was in Singapore, when I went to Singapore in Singapore, they hardly allow you to drive 2 cars.
Can't even have a driver's license.
So then what happened is that if you buy a new car, they look for Africans. They ask you, where can you sell the car for them? You tell them you don't have money to buy. They say, okay, you sell it. When are you bringing the money back? The African guy will tell them that we bring it back in 3 months' time. They say, okay, you sell it, you give me a number. The guy in 6 months, he won't bring the money. If the man see you tomorrow, you ask your brother, say we'll bring money. Now in 6 months, never bring the money. That one have eaten the money. That's how we begin to smile the way. Then the ones that are fraud people, you go and tell people that you give them some money, give them $20,000. They'll give you 10,000 or 1,000, you give them $20,000. From here, they don't extend our visa again. Let's begin to be honest. Let's get back to where we are. We have only, maybe let's just say we have like 5 minutes to go. Finish up here. Our people, we have to start, thinking properly before you travel abroad. forget about this criminal activity, like you want to go out and scam people, you want to go out and steal. It's not easy. And if you get caught, you'll be dead. They'll kill you. You spend your years, you spend 10 years. If you say you're doing that because of your mom, if they give you 3 years in prison, that your mom will die before you come out. So you rather go there and do the simple thing. You know, when we go to Asia those days, you find people, once you get to Asia, they teach you how to throw, job, you first come out, your father is prince, your father is this. Like what is happening in Indonesia today, to me, I've felt that what is happening in Indonesia and many sides of Asia is where people engage in criminal activity. Some Asian people are good people, but because of what some of our people are doing, it's hard for them to differentiate between good and bad people. So you need to actually show yourself very hard. Before, Nigerian passport is not hard, you can extend it anyhow. But today, the same problem is happening. So if you're going out, if somebody told that you have company in Asia, make sure that person have company. If you're going there for prostitute, then make sure you're going there for prostitute. So when you get caught, then you face the consequence. Like, Ambassador Jeff, Esther, she's Indonesian, she saw what happened last time. She said things. I saw some guys try to attack her, but what she's saying is the truth. Okay?
I don't care if people attack me. You understand? Because if you want to attack me, if what I said was wrong.
I got a lot of friends in Indonesia, and they're still there. They're doing good. And the new crop of Nigerians that came to Indonesia are the one that is giving them problems. I got friends that live in Indonesia for 30 years, 15 years. They don't even, if they come out, go back inside. They don't want to associate themselves anymore, because the people there now, they turn into courtesy. A lot of courtesy happening there now. It never used to be like that. When we arrive in Indonesia, the Indonesia will gather around us. They want to even touch our skin. That was how friendly they were. But the crop of people there now, God damn it, they are very, very desperate. Very, very desperate. Very, very desperate. So I don't want anyone. If you are there, you have to leave. If you ever find an old school people there, we're better for you. But the new crop there now is completely different.
Well, even the old crops are like. I remember when I went to Hong Kong or something. I went to visit in Hong Kong or something. I wanted to fraud you.
English school there, where they teach English and all that stuff. He's been there for years. Yeah, we were together in New Zealand. He went back to Indonesia.
Anyway, guys, we are rounding up, guys. We have less time, guys. Let's see if there's any question. Let Esther B take care of the younger ones. Guys, if you have any question here. So, Esther, what do you think? How do you think? What is the best way for us before you come out? Just give us 1 or 2 minutes left.
Well, it is. I would say we need to start to find the growth mindset instead of change our mindsets, because our mind is very, very essential. When your mind is right, you always think right. You want to do right things. You want to learn to do new things. You challenge yourself to grow. You don't just get like when I got to Indonesia here, I saw the situation and I asked myself, what's the way out? I knew education was the way out. I was a failure in Nigeria. Like when I said I was a dropout in school because I didn't complete my education, and then I felt bad for myself at that point. I knew the only way I could survive. First of all, I need to look for a school. So I went to a school and I got rejected. When you're rejected as a Nigerian, it kept me in a bad place, but I didn't give up. After I had my son, 2 weeks later, I saw this advert on the streets, like a pathway to Australia. That was right up. I walked into that school all alone with my son in my hands, and I asked, how do I start? And then they said I need to pay 100,000 rupiah then to write the English exam. And I asked, can I write it now? He said, are you okay with your son like this? I said, it's okay. I can just keep it here and write. And I did that. And when they told me the price, I didn't have the money. I was so desperate. I didn't have the money to pay the fees because it was 47 million rupiah. So she said to me, I told her, can I go to this school on credit? I promise I'll pay in 1 month, because I was so desperate. I knew that I had a child in my hands. I have made a huge mistake in my life. And the only way I had then was to start making corrections. So I don't want to think about the money, because money is secondary. First of all, you need to think about your mind first. I had to reset my mind and say, okay, I want to move forward. How do I start? And I said, can I start on credit? And she said, okay. You know, they've never had that kind of candidate before. They were hoping I would drop out maybe 1 month or something. But I started on credit. It's funny, I started school on credit. I was the first student that started school on credit ever. And even as an international student, which is never possible, but the determination was there. When I was given that second chance, because I called it a second chance, I gave myself a huge responsibility. I said, I was a failure back in Calabar, in University of Calabar. I wouldn't go to school. I want to sort all the lecturers and do all the things everyone was doing, right? But this is my shot. It's not because I'm not smart I was doing that. It was because I found myself, you know, I was controlled by social pressure. The minimum grade I will have in this education now will be A. I had to make all A's, you understand, because I knew that is my only way out. When I graduated, I was my journey was never looking for a job because I knew I don't fit into the job market here. I still need some stuff, and again, my passport and all would be a setback. So immediately I studied business, I started positioning my mind to start up my own company. The opportunity is here. Like he said, he has been in Indonesia. Indonesia is the only country you can come in today. Go and rent a shop tomorrow morning. The government will not look for you and start selling anything you want to sell, whether it's rice, beans. You understand? That's the kind of country, right, Ambassador? Right? That's the kind of country where
I used to have I used to have office in very close to Taramban. What's it called? Cabo Kacang.
Oh, Cabo Kacang.
Yeah.
Tamboran.
Yeah. Then I was living in Kilepadua, Chimagis, far away. Bogoraya.
So you see the opportunity here. You can do anything. It's your choice. It's your decision.
Now people don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. That the old school, we were there. Things were very bright. Immediately.
Actually, they know. They don't like that small money. Actually.
They don't want. They want to make it fast money.
We were making money. People didn't realize this. They say, "Oh, how much are you going to sell from this clothes that is going to make money for you?" But they didn't realize that an Igbo man will come and buy 2 containers, and if I'm getting 50 cents by dozen, how many? About 100 dozen is going to make 1 bill. And you take it 50 cents. How many dozens?
We're going. Yeah.
We were just making cool money, and people didn't realize it. You know.
Anyway, guys,
in a week we could make more than 20 million, and people didn't realize it. We were making money.
Yeah.
You know, most of the money we lost because of Soweto. We all left the country. I was in South Africa when the Soweto problem came, and we could not come back into the country.
Bro, how you can go South Africa? Why I can't go South Africa? When we say this South Africa,
I was in Malawi. I was selling in
Malawi. Why can't go Malawi? Malawi said now that not because I'm gonna go carry cooking. Malawi said a dead area.
That's what people don't know. We changed a lot of things in Malawi. We changed a lot of things in Malawi and Mozambique. The Indians were taking charge of everything. They were selling on bargain.
Oh, but this India don't take everywhere.
We just went there and scattered their business. You know, we sell power of bargain. They were selling on percentage. I'll give you 5%. I'll give you 5 cents. We just go there. The thing they were selling $10. We're selling it to $2. We said to the offices, and they would never come back to the market to buy. So they were crying. They can't pay their shop anymore.
Yeah.
We go and sell on credit. That's how we destroy their business. We just sell everything on credit. We come and relax at home. At the end of the month, we go and collect our money. And the one in the shop, they could not sell. Because once you buy from me from the office, what are you coming back to do in the shop? That's how we were able to stabilize the whole thing. But at the end, because we are in high position, they call police, they call immigrations, and they start arresting people. You know, it teach me a lot of big deals, man. That place showed me a lot of things. A lot of things.
Do you know? I supposed to be in Indonesia, I think last month. One of my
what I do.
anyway, guys, we are running up, guys. Guys, thank you. Anyway, thank you, Esther, for joining us today, guys.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, Cynthia.
Don't forget, before you go, Esther.
Yeah.
So you pick one name from these guys, okay? Before you go, I'll run these guys. You pick one name from them, okay?
Okay.
I just go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep running. If you reach where it's
anak-anak namanya siapa nih?
Nama kamu.
Nama aku.
Wow.
Aku
Okay, this is Temple. I would love to talk to Temple because he made a comment. He said he feels because of this greener pasture, like he's wasted. My brother, you're not wasted, okay? No one is wasted. There's an opportunity to start all over again. Life is not a competition, neither is it a race. No matter how much you feel,
Temple
able to
has
stand up.
been a very good
That's what matters. So, Mr. Jeffrey, wherever you are, you can find something. So you can find something and do and start all over again. There is no harm in starting all over again. There is no harm in starting. So don't give up.
No.
Okay, Mr. Temple, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
We have to see you next time, okay? Thank you very much.
Esther